Hi friends, good morning. We want to study abroad, and for getting a study abroad, we applied couple of colleges, different universities, different colleges, US, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, UK, Singapore, Germany, Japan, wherever we want to study. And a week later, we got LOA that you got admission in your favorite university, your favorite country, and your favorite subject too. Isn't that amazing? Yes. Now to secure your seat out there, you need to make the payments. You need to transfer your tuition fees. So earlier, what used to be, university used to give, the SWIFT detail, complete SWIFT detail, the banking detail for making the transfer from India to that particular country and that particular university. But nowadays, universities have tied up with some fintech companies like Flyover, Western Union, Pay My Tuition Fees, CIBC, Applied Board, and many others as well. So that if you just click that link will take you at their homepage, their payment platform, where you have to fill the detail and get the things done. And a lot of time, what a student get confused and they are not able to get the benefit which they supposed to get if they use that link wisely. Now today's video I will tell you how you can use that wisely and save a decent amount. If you are able to save 5 to 10,000 rupees in applying these techniques and tricks, isn't that amazing? I personally believe money saves is money earned. I hope that a lot of people will be agree with me. In this tough time, every penny counts. So let's start how we can do it. So as and when you just click on the link, the link will take you the payment gateway either on a payment platform of Western Union, Flyover, CIBC, Pay My Tuition, or Apply Board. What you have to do? First of all, there is the first drop down. It is asking from which country you're paying. You have to select India. Another drop down comes which institution you want to pay. You have to just drop down and select the institution, which institution you want to pay. Third thing, they want you to confirm the amount, which currency you want to choose and what is the amount you want to choose, right? If you click that, it will take you another page. Second page, it will give you option. The first option will be INR to INR. They will give you a rough idea of estimated INR amount, but that estimated INR amount is always a higher side, because I'll tell you what, these fintech companies don't have a banking license in India. They can't expect the fund in Indian rupees and send that fund to there. They are compelled to, for that particular arrangement, they are compelled to get into agreement of an Indian bank where they use their bank account, they ask the student and the parent to fund this particular account, and then from there the money will move to them, university or that particular country. So there's the first option. Another option, they will give you to make the payment through a Visa debit card. Visa debit card. Visa debit card INR amount will be mentioned out there. A third option you will see that the Master debit card INR amount is there. If you do a payment through Master credit card or debit card, you will be paying charging this amount, right? And the fourth option, there is no fourth option, but there is a rectangle shape, and there is a plus mark, and it is mentioned show more option. If you click on that, it will give you to make the payment in foreign currency. You will get the option to make the payment in USD, Euro, and Pound. Let's say you want to make the payment 15,000 Canadian dollar in XYZ college or university. So that will show you what is the dollar amount. It is coming out equivalent to 1500 CAD. What is the euro amount is coming equivalent to 15,000 CAD. What is the pound amount coming into 15,000 CAD. So majority of the student, and I would say 99% of the student, in my perspective, they choose USD. They choose USD. So if you choose USD, it will take you to the third page. That is called payers information. The first information will come who is filling out this form. You just drop down and say family or a student, right? Then they'll ask about the payer's first name, middle name or last name. Payers means that who's making the payments. Many times the students' parents, father is paying. If the father has to pay that amount, the father's details will come. Father's first name, middle name, and last name. Father's local address, the local address. Then they will ask about their mobile number and the email ID. And I would request you, please fill it correct, because you know what, as soon as the payments will move, you will get the intimation. And there is another declaration, tick if you want to receive the payment notification in this number. So that is very important to get that right. And they will tell you to go to a next page. The third page will come the student info. The student in the student info, you have to mention the student name, the student ID, the student first name, middle name, last name, the student's mobile number, the student's local address, and probably they will ask you which course the student is going, graduate, postgraduate, or others. You have to select that, what is that in others, and tentative time of ending that course, you have to mention that. When you click that, it will go to another window, that's a fourth window. It will mention, that will give you a review of that. That will give you a review, whatever the information you have filled, you have to review that. You have to check payers details are correct, you have to check the student details are correct, especially their student ID, their name, email ID, because email ID is very critical, because as and when the payment moves on, the student and the payers get the notification over the email. That is very critical. So please review that information. Date of birth is very important, and just review that and say okay. When you okay, it will go to another page. That is the final page. You will see the payment instruction, the beneficiary name, beneficiary's address, beneficiary's account number, SWIFT code, routing number, or any other information which is also an important thing, the reference number. A reference number is very important for these sort of a payment platforms transaction. Right? You have to mention payment reference number specifically along with your passport number, date of birth, name, the student ID, and the reference number in the student additional details while making the payments out, right? And you will just scroll it down at the bottom. There is a link called mention download the payment instruction. Just click that link, and you can download that payment instruction in your desktop. Right? It is a simple process. Now I'll tell you the preferences, because a lot of time there are 5-6 majorly payment platform which have tied up almost 10,000 colleges and universities around the world. So you don't know. So I would advise you, if you are studying in Canada, if you're willing to study in Canada, you got offer LOA from the Canada, and your link is giving you option to make payment in CIBC, Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, or other options is also there. Choose CIBC, because CIBC make the payment in local currency. It will give you opportunity to make the payment in local currency and your college name only, but it will also generate a payment, I would say unique number, reference number that you have to make. If you are not getting a CIBC, if you are getting a Pay My Tuitions link, choose Pay My Tuition link also, because the Pay My Tuition fee also give you an option to make the payment in local currency, majorly in Canada, for the Canadian institutions, right? If you neither get Pay My Tuition fees nor CIBC, if you get to Flywire, Western Union, choose Flywire. I'll tell you the reason. Later I will tell you my experience. Right? If you get a Western Union, then the only option is Western Union. Choose Western Union. Now third comes my experience. In my career of 15 years, I have done thousands of student fees throughout the world. Be it any sort of student transfer, GIC, FTS, block account, living expenses, tuition fees, and many other wire transfer I have done, even application fees for the small amount that I have processed, thousand of students, right? So it is my experience that I'll just come across an incident. A year back, there is a student that got admission in Canada, XYZ college, and he has to submit 16,000 plus Canadian dollar. My agent told me, Vinodji, just create a payment instruction from the Western Union, and the student is ready to pay it out. So I've asked a couple of documents and I've generated payment instruction through Western Union, and that's share I've seen with the agents as well as the student. The amount was something around 12,197 USD, equivalent to 16,000 plus Canadian dollar. The student was ready to pay, pay that amount, and he was in bank. And all of a sudden, the consultant called me, student's brother find out that Flywire is cheap. I said, cheap? How is that possible? He said, his brother said, the same Canadian dollar, same amount, is getting into 12,107 only. It is a $90 lesser than that. I said, it is one and same thing for us. Either you do it through Western Union, you do it Flywire, you do it any other channel. It is, for us, it is almost same thing. But let me just try it out. So I opened that link once more and I explored that college also tied up with Flywire. So I just get into Flywire and got to know that he was right. It was showing 12,100 something. It was almost a difference of $90. $90 is a decent amount. It was almost 6,000 rupees, right? So I said, okay. We generated that Flywire payment link and made the payment on that particular the payment section. And that happened. So it is my personal experience that I'm sharing with you. Even if you got a choice, choose Flywire, right? And it is very, very important to fill the right detail. Fill the right detail, right reference number. And one of the important thing, whenever you generate these sort of payment section, these payment section always mention the time frame. At which date and which time the payment details are valid. It means that whatever the payment instruction you have generated, that associated a unique reference number, and that unique reference number is valid until this particular time only. If you do the payment more than that time, let's say payment sections are mentioned that this is valid for 72 hours. So you have to make that payment within 72 hours only. If you make the payment after 4 days, you will have a very tough time to tracing out the payment. You will not get SMS link, you will not get email alert, you will not get a lot of supports. Those student university will be able to find out that, but they will have to do a lot of work. They have to identify the payment through your passport number, your name, your student ID. What is the unique payment reference number always reflect everywhere all the payments. Their system, their payment gateway system and university system integrated, and that characterized with the reference number only. So it is very tough for them. So make your life very easier and get the things done. For any sort of query, if you have, you can just comment below. You can speak to me at 9891395254 any point of time except holidays in working hour only. You can, if you feel hesitated, you can WhatsApp me at the same number. I will be really happy to help you out. Thank you very much.